President Akufo-Addo inaugurates 9-member board of Ghana Infrastructure Fund.
Vigilante groups and criminal acts will not be tolerated, says Minister for National Security.
Transport fares up by 15%.
And parliamentary polls have ended in the Gambia.
Good evening and welcome to News Hour, live on GBC24 and Ghana Television. My name is Emmanuel Ampangakashi.
And I am Oforiwa Dako. Welcome once again. It's News Hour on GBC24, your own news channel, and GTV. In our first report, government has allocated an amount of 250 million cedis as seed money for supporting the infrastructure needs of the country.
Inaugurating a 9-member board of the Ghana Infrastructure Fund at the seat of government, the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, tasked them to run the fund in a transparent manner for the overall development of the country.
The chairman of the board, Professor Ameyaw Ekumfi, assured the president that his team will work towards building the development of a prosperous nation.
I believe that a board such as this should be mindful of value for money, first and foremost. It should also be in a position to attract investment into Ghana. Mr. President, infrastructure development is not only crucial to our development, but it's also a means of creating jobs. And I believe that with colleagues on the board, we will work very, very hard to let you achieve your aims.
Infrastructural development is key to the development of every nation. The World Bank says Ghana needs $2.3 billion annually to enable her bridge her infrastructural gap. The 9-member board of the Ghana Infrastructure Fund, GIF, is chaired by Professor Ameyaw Ekumfi. President Akufo-Addo tasked the board to run the funds based on the principle of strong corporate governance. He urged the board members to use their expertise to attract more funds to boost the country's infrastructure.
I would like to encourage the board to be bold and proactive without being reckless. I would urge you to make things happen in the infrastructure space for Ghana with creativity and purpose, to help unlock new sources of finance and investment for Mother Ghana, and to work closely with other Ghanaian institutions, both public and private, so that infrastructure investment in the country can be raised and more jobs can be created and our economy developed rapidly. I look forward to being regularly updated with the progress of the fund, and I expect to hear only good things.
The board will be assisted by a 5-member advisory board who will guide it to use the funds judiciously.
The wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Samira Bawumia, has urged young people to work hard and persevere to be able to attain higher heights. She urged them to have faith and bide their time and not let fear be an impediment to their dreams. Mrs. Bawumia was speaking at the opening of the 2017 Story of Our Lives Conference, a program organized by the Mentoring for Youth Development Foundation, MENFID.
Mentoring for Youth Development Foundation, MENFID Foundation, was founded in 2015 by the first female to be appointed physician to a sitting president of Ghana, Dr. Bettina Bohini Anda. She worked with President Kufuor for 8 years. Through its Story of Our Lives conference, it aims to introduce real and practical mentors to the youth, to share their successes and struggles, to enable them to come to the realization that they can indeed emulate their example. At the 2017 Story of Our Lives conference, various speakers urged the girls to be themselves, make mistakes and work hard. The founder of the MENFID Foundation, Dr. Bettina Bohini Anda, said the Story of Our Lives project will be extended to institutions of higher learning for young ladies as they get ready for the world of work.
MENFID Foundation is rolling out a program where these young mentees will also in turn mentor the youth in the second cycle institutions to complete the cycle and bridge the generation gap.
The Minister of Gender and Social Protection, Madam Utiko Jaba, urged the girls to celebrate their femininity with responsibility.
To protect yourself is like crossing the road, you look left and right. I want you to look left and right when you are dressing. Why do you want to dress up and leave your underwear showing? So why should a woman dress up and leave all sorts of things showing? Sometimes it's good to let the other partners wonder what it is that you are covering. So please, celebrate your femininity by respecting yourself. Nobody can respect you. You earn it.
The founder and CEO of the Whitaker Group, Mrs. Rosa Whitaker Duncan Williams, said the decisions and actions the girls take today will determine whether they rise or fall.
Instead of spending so much time trying to discover your passion, spend time trying to discover his purpose. And I've seen where the enemy can give you a false pleasure and false passion that has nothing to do with what God gave you life to do. When you pursue God's purpose, that is the place where you will find grace. And He will never, and God has never, given anyone an assignment without giving them the gift and the provision to achieve it.
The wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Samira Baumia, urged the girls to press on in spite of life's challenges, take advantage of the existing technology and not abuse it.
We must not allow technology to destroy us. Let us take the good things it brings and make very good use of them while putting to shame those who deliberately feed the internet with evil to destroy us. Ladies, our world is a competitive one. In order to stay ahead, we must permanently strive to be the best we can be. This will not come on a silver platter. I have learned a lot in my rather short life. But if there is anything at all I'm eager to share with you, it is the virtues of hard work, determination, and dedication.
Citations were presented to Mrs. Samira Baumia, Mrs. Rosa Whitaker Duncan Williams, and Ms. Valentina Minta for being role models to young girls.
In other news, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. John Peter Amewu, says the ministry is intensifying efforts to stamp out illegal mining, also known as galamsey, in the country. He hinted a field campaign will be carried out after a 3-week ultimatum given to the illegal miners to vacate their pits. A task force from the ministry and all the security agencies will be deployed to various sites to halt the wanton destruction of the environment.
One activity that has been a source of worry to many Ghanaians is illegal mining, popularly referred to as galamsey. So serious is the menace that the sources of drinking water in the various parts of the country have been polluted. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Peter Amewu, says the ministry has put in place strategies to help in the fight against galamsey.
I have no doubt in my mind that this is a very complex arena that we are treading in. But what is important is that those are engaged in this business, the externalities can never be internalized. Environmental cost is nothing they can think that they can internalize at all. It's so huge. And so if you do a value cost reconciliations, you realize that we are losing. And so it's important for this guy to get involved in the campaign themselves. We have done a lot more education than necessary. All over these years, education has been going on, training has been going on. There are some small-scale miners that are doing it very well. If you go to their sites, I mean, you'll be surprised what they are doing. A very clean job they're doing it. Surprisingly, again, what is happening is that 1,200 licenses are there given to this small-scale mining. Most of them are not being ratified. The law says that this thing should have gone through Parliament. And so, invariably, it means that even the small-scale miners, of course, within the regulatory framework, they are not supposed to be doing what they are doing. And these are the category of people that we are looking at. And so, that is why we'll be going to the field.
According to Mr. Amewu, the country has all the good laws to eliminate illegal mining, but implementation of the laws has been the problem.
In China, for instance, I was told quite clear that if you cut down a tree, for instance, that is 50 years old, they divide a year of the tree by 2 and sentence you to prison. I mean, and so it means that there are deterrent measures up there in those countries. And because we are so free, free with the law, we pass good laws, not being able to implement it, and that is why they are undertaking this activity. What is happening now is clear lawlessness. It has nothing to do with the mining regime. It's just lawlessness. It's like, a group of armed robbers besieging this country. And that's exactly what it's doing. And so the law enforcement agencies must be up doing.
He expressed gratitude to the media for getting on board the campaign to eliminate galamsey and protect the environment. Michelin Taka, GBC24, Accra.
A small town water system to the chiefs and people of Ayamfuri Kurofrom in the Central Region. The acting Central Regional Director of the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, Mr. Henry Franklin Asangba, has warned that very soon there will be no potable water if the illegal mining continues in the area.
Anyamfuri is one of the communities in the Central Region that have been hit hard by water pollution due to galamsey. Now the problem have been addressed with the provision of a water system at a cost of 3.5 million Ghana cedis. The water system has 2 mechanized boreholes, a water treatment plant, water reservoir with 120 cubic meters capacity, and water distribution pipe network to all resettlement buildings.
This is a major investment for the company as part of this resettlement, and this investment today is being handed over to the care of the District Assembly and the Ayamfuri Kurofrom Water and Sanitation Management team, who are seated here. We must all recognise that users must pay for their water charges if they are to enjoy continued potable water supplies in the future.
The acting Central Regional Director of the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, Mr. Henry Franklin Asangba, said the treatment of polluted water is very expensive and urged Ghanaians to help fight against illegal mining.
The source where we are getting the water from, we have to make sure that we protect the source. Because if you don't have water, you cannot even treat. And if it's polluted, then the treatment is very expensive. Then we are saying that sustainability issues will not be catered for.
The chiefs pledged to ensure that the source of water for the new plant is protected from pollution.
Still on galamsey, the Graphic Communications Group has petitioned the Ghana Police Administration to take measures to investigate and arrest a man by the name Bronxy 1, who claims to be involved in illegal gold mining.
A video was shared on social media showing a man who described himself as a galamsey businessman and dared the government and asked it to rethink its position on fighting galamsey operators. Popularly known as Bronxy 1, he introduced himself as a resident of East Legon near American House in Accra. He is believed to have taken the video from a mining site. He claimed he owned the pit, which had dozens of illegal miners working in it at the time he shot the video. He also showed off an excavator, which he said he owned and was being used for his operations. Bronxy 1 sent an open invitation to the government to come after him if it so wished. The man said some of his workers were able to earn 50 Ghana cedis, 60 Ghana cedis, 100 Ghana cedis and 200 Ghana cedis a day. The Managing Director of Graphic Communications Group, Mr. Kenneth Ashigbe, called on the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Mr. David Asante Apietu, to arrest the man and investigate the matter. Thus, he believes, will send a strong signal to the public that the Ghana Police Service would not condone any acts of illegality as far as galamsey is concerned.
The Minister for National Security, Mr. Kendapa, urged the country to unite to stop the activities of vigilante groups since they have the tendency of becoming militant groups which could disturb the peace of the security of the country. Mr. Kendapa says acts of criminality would not be tolerated and sanctions would be meted out to persons found culpable.
The statement comes on the heels of recent acts of unlawfulness by political party action groups, particularly on some state institutions.
There are no legally registered political vigilante groups in the country. And for that matter, there are no such groups to be disbanded. However, I think we need to be pragmatic and accept that foot soldiers of the leading political parties have been known to constitute themselves into action groups to molest and unleash violence on the peace-loving people of this country, either from within or outside their political parties. Mr. Speaker, we must not mix criminality with politics. Lawlessness must be punished as demanded by the laws of our country. Government has made it clear to the Inspector General of Police to deal appropriately with all criminals, irrespective of their political affiliations. And Mr. Speaker, we must resolve as a House to urge all political leaders in the country to come together to deliberate on measures to discourage the establishment and recognition of such groups in political structures in the interest of state security.
Questions were asked about whether government was in the process of recruiting members of vigilante groups into the national security.
Whether there are any plans by government, in particular by his outfit, to absorb any vigilante group into the national security outfit.
It is not possible that the national security agencies will absorb into the agencies anybody who has a criminal background. Security checks are undertaken, criminal checks are undertaken to make sure that everybody who is employed into the national security system has passed the necessary security and criminal checks. And again, I want to emphasize, we must try not to politicize the security agencies, and we commit ourselves to doing just that.
The President, in his maiden address to Parliament, condemned vigilante activities.
While the Appointment Committee of Parliament continued with its work without the minority members, the Deputy Chief Whip, Mr. Alex Treme, described the minority's decision as a deliberate act to frustrate government's business. By the minority leader, Mr. Haruna Idrisu, insists the committee should not be rushed but should be given time to do due diligence on nominees.
Wednesday's boycott of the vetting process by the minority caucus in Parliament was in line with a concern raised on the floor of the House that it was being overstretched. However, on day 2 of the boycott, the Deputy Chief Whip, also a member of the committee, says the absence of the minority has not affected the process.
The quorum to do business at the Appointments Committee is 9. So the moment you have 9, whether minority, majority, or only minority, or only majority, once you have the quorum, you can do business. So that's what we are doing. It has not in any way detracted from the work we are supposed to do. We are here as a committee of Parliament to vet the ministerial nominations. We started doing it together, both sides of the House. At the last hour, they say they are withdrawing because they are tired. If they are tired, they should go rest their legs. Those of us who still have some energy in us will continue to do the work.
Justifying their decision, the minority leader, Mr. Haruna Idrisu, says due diligence was of great importance in the vetting of deputy ministers.
We are boycotting because we want to do a thorough, diligent background check of all nominees. And the document that guides us to do that is the CVs of the nominees. It comes to us late night or in the morning when we are just about vetting. That puts us in a difficulty to check the nominee's suitability, especially where the nominee is non-MP within the provisions of Article 94 of the Constitution. So we are protesting that we should not be stampeded into being denied the opportunity to carry the Ghanaian public as observers and participants in this process. I mean, if you advertise that a nominee was to appear 4th May, 8th May, that is the case. You follow the advertisement, including GTV. And then the nominee comes on 31st March. Have you helped the public participating in this process? No, because we get public input.
Some have argued why the minority, after their boycotts, still participates in the business of the House.
You are tired for business. You will not come for appointments committee business, but you are available for business on the floor of Parliament. So Ghanaians should be the better judges of what is happening. For me, it's an attempt to frustrate the work of government, business in the House.
He doesn't determine what we do as MPs or as a minority. If they have business, we will do business with them. So probably he's admitting that they have no business. We are not boycotting Parliament. I mean, we are saying that give us an opportunity to diligently scrutinize your nominee, give us their CVs on time, and give us time to assess their backgrounds.
The minority leader maintained that they are committed to assisting the president to constituting his government to work for the benefit of the country.
Maurice Ogbete is standing by for business.
Good evening. My name is Maurice Ogbete with the business news brought to you by NIB and Ernest Chemist. In our first story tonight, commuters at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle and other parts of Accra have expressed concern about the 15% increase in transport fares. They say that despite the increase, their salaries are yet to have any corresponding effect.
The GPRTU has been agitating for increase in transport fares since last year when fuel prices were adjusted upwards. Though now fuel prices have been reduced, the transport owners contend that spare parts and other accessories have gone up, hence the latest development which has led to a jump of 15% in transport fares. GBC24 visited lorry stations at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle and commuters were generally not happy about the new charges.
The percentage increase to compared to the previous times, it seems this one is a little bit too much.
I live at Madina Estate. For the past few weeks, the fare was 2 cedis 30 pesos, and in aggregate is 4 cedis 60 pesos. But now, since they've increased the fare, it's now 5 cedis 20 pesos, which has affected my budget or has affected the way I spend my money.
Drivers said some passengers paid the new fares without complaints, while others proved difficult.
Yeah, bad. Yeah, church room. Send you ever. Umutimbusa say, ne boy did it. Yes, so temana a cost from Yantum. This year, nothing a bandy price ahead. A bandy, no more casafa muteasi. Passengers phone be oha. Okoka. Almost some there. 15%,
A visit to some of the bus terminals for long-distance travels, including Vision Express, managers of the station said the new fares will take effect from tomorrow.
And now that the government has agreed for us to increase the price, we will start from tomorrow.
Meanwhile, reports from Kumasi show that drivers plying the Accra route have not jacked up their fares, but their counterparts in Tamale have added 10 cedis more to the fares, thus pushing the Accra Tamale fare to 70 Ghana cedi.
And so transport fares up by 15%. Now, a 13.5 litre capacity of marine gas storage facility at the cost of $50 million has been inaugurated at the Takoradi port in the Western region. The facility, which was financed by the Ghana Oil Company, will serve marine gas oil to upstream vessels, ships and FPSOs that will dock at the port.
The construction of the Takoradi Marine Gas Oil Project started in 2015 and took about 18 months to be completed. The contractors, Murray and Roberts of South Africa, have designed the MGO storage facility to meet international standards. The 3 tanks have been fitted with motorized valves and automatic control systems for dispatching products to the vessels. It also has 3 pumps to provide products at a flow rate of 250 cubic meters an hour and can receive product to the vessels from the 2 bays. An extra line has been provided at Talo Bay in case the 2 bays are occupied. The board chairman of the Ghana Oil Company, Professor William Asumening, said all safety measures, including the environment, have been taken into consideration. He said the investment will position GOIL to benefit from huge trade in MGO, 60% of which is being done offshore at the moment.
When the upstream business began, it became clear that there was a clear deficit in the availability of storage facilities onshore in Ghana to attract many vessels expected to berth in the country.
The managing director of GOIL, Mr. Patrick A.K. Akroli, said the facility has been equipped with mass flow meters of higher standards and the tanks are fitted with a level alarm system and automatic shuttle valve to prevent overfill of products.
The 3 tanks are all fitted with motorized valves and automatic control systems for dispatching products to the vessels. In addition, an extra line has been provided at the Talo Bay in case the 2 bays are occupied.
The acting director of Takoradi Port, Captain Ebenezer Faji, commended GOIL for such an investment at the port because it will boost revenue generation. The Deputy Minister of Energy, Dr. Amin Adams, stated the project is in line with government's policy of making quality petroleum products available at affordable prices to fuel the socio-economic development of the country and provide jobs for the teeming youth.
The importance of this project, therefore, in making available marine gas oil in a sustainable manner will help increase the number of vessels expected to dock at the harbour. The completion of the Takoradi port facilities will also importantly bring in much needed revenue to the government of Ghana through tax revenues.
The Western Regional Minister, Mr. Kweku Efriye, was optimistic that the facility will also contribute immensely to the socio-economic development of the region.
Still business live on GBC24. Now, Minister for Finance, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, has sworn in the reconstituted 13-member Senate board into office. The Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, said government is making arrangements to restructure the 600 million Ghana cedi debts on the books of Senate.
The mandate of the new board of SNIT is to transform the company to be the model for the administration of social protection schemes in Africa and beyond, and to achieve its mission of providing income security for workers in Ghana through excellent business practices. SNIT currently has over 1.3 million people contributing to the scheme and more than 130,000 staff on their payroll. The new board comes to office at a time where contribution to the scheme has dropped by 1.86 billion Ghana cedis, representing 12% drop in revenue. At the same time, benefits were up 1.75 billion in 2016. A closer look at SNIT portfolio shows that return on investment yield is very low. The new reconstituted board of SNIT is chaired by former Defense Minister Dr. Kwame Adokufo. The Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, charged the board to roll out policies that will help SNIT meet its obligations.
We are therefore caught in a rather difficult vice.
of contributors declining, strangely, pensions increasing, benefits, and our investment portfolios are not performing.
The board chair of SNIT, Dr. Kwame Adokufo, said together with the staff, they will work hard to put the company back on the path of growth and profitability.
I am of the view that SNIT, well managed, would act as a catalyst to support the government and its effort to resuscitate the Ghanaian economy. The second point about SNIT, well managed, is that it can act as a magnet to draw into this country large amounts of foreign direct investment. It's not doing that now.
He outlined measures that the new board will take to redirect SNIT to the path of growth.
Government has been rather sluggish in payment of contributions for government workers. We need the services of a well-respected, trusted financial institution or a firm of accountants to put SNIT under the microscope.
Members of the SNIT board are the Deputy Minister Designate for Finance, Madam Abnao Seyasari, Mr. Alex Frimpong, Mr. Daniel Ichampong, Mr. Joshua Ansan, and Mr. Prince William Ankra. The other members are Mr. Mahamudu Asibi Azonko, Mr. David Oforie Champong, Mr. Benjamin Odetei Asuman, Madam Beatrice Zakpa Zib Zanziri, and Dr. John Ofori Tinkrine.
So the Ghana cedi making continuous gains, especially against the US dollar. On the interbank market today, the pound is selling at 5 cedis, 32 pesos. The US dollar going for 4 cedis, 27 pesos, and the euro selling at 4 cedis, 55 pesos. And on the international commodities market, light crude trading at $51.55 per barrel and cocoa at $2,107 per ton. Gold is going for $1,251.50 an ounce. And that was business brought to you by NIB and Ernest Chemist.
Still News Hour on GBC24 and GTV. Welcome to the health segment. Exposure to radiation can cause cancer just as inhaling the smoke coming out of burning plastics and petroleum products. Smelling the odor of liquefied petroleum gas is also thought to be a cancer risk factor. It is going to be a brave fight for a man caught in the degenerative condition as he appeals for 3,000 Ghana cedis to start treatment. Sarah Ofori reports.
Benjamin Nampana, a graduate of the Bolgatanga Senior High School, has been in and out of the hospital since 2015 for what doctors thought was malaria.
So they gave me malaria drugs, then I came in and took it. But like, for some time, when the drugs got finished, then it went back to the same problem again. So I keep on revisiting and visiting the hospital for several times until they couldn't understand and they said I should go to regional hospital. Then I went there. They also diagnosed and said the same malaria.
This was his predicament until his quest landed him at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, where it was suspected he had cancer of the blood. He was then referred to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. At this stage, it was confirmed that he had a disorder.
There are some of the lymphomas that actually attack the skin. So it will start with itching of the skin, the time we realize that changes in the skin, and I mean, they'll do or give all kinds of drugs, it's not going. It's only chemotherapy that will do it. They may also complain of fever on and off. They'll be feverish, they'll be giving malaria treatment, it won't go. They'll be giving typhoid treatment, it won't go. And then the swellings that I spoke about, that's the most common for the presentations. The thing is that you may have some of the swellings may not be in very obvious places. Okay, there are some lymph nodes in the abdomen as well. So if your lymph nodes in the abdomen are swollen, it can only be picked up with an ultrasound scan or a CT scan.
Intravenous treatment and chemotherapy are the main procedures for managing the disorders.
Most of the time, when we are treating somebody with cancer, we don't use just one drug. And it's meant to prevent resistance developing. If you use one drug, I mean, after a while, the cells reorganize themselves and now that drug doesn't work anymore. So for something like a lymphoma, you'll be given not less than 4 drugs.
For the past 1 year, Benjamin has been under treatment. However, he is said to have experienced a relapse at some point.
I want the public to help me to be able to pay this baby, because as I was saying, in the 12th cycle, it was just friends and then some family individuals that was able to help me to go through the 12th cycle. And now everybody, if I should call this person again, it's like nobody is really, or there's no help anywhere again that I will be able to go for this cycle that I said I have to go again.
Benjamin's parents are peasant farmers and cannot pay for his treatment. He needs 3,000 Ghana cedis to continue treatment. Donations can be sent to Fidelity Bank account name Benjamin Nampana with account number 203-092-530-1419 or MTN Mobile Money 0249-116-061. Meanwhile, Dr. Kwakupum warns that exposure to radiation, aromatic compounds found in burning of plastics and petroleum products, and the inhalation of liquefied petroleum gas predispose one to cancerous blood disorders. 04 GBC24 Accra.
Good evening, let's talk sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. The Accra TF Club is set to revive horse racing this weekend at the new race course at Adringano in Accra. The secretary of the club, Mr. Ni Ama Texan, said the reason for the delay in organizing regular races was due to the contractor's inability to put finishing touches to the race course.
We've been a while, very long time. The reason being that the work done at the site is not fully completed. And for that matter, we requested the contractor to hurriedly complete the work for us. And it seems as if it's dilly-dallying with us and it's not speaking the truth. We don't know who is telling lies. And the reason why, as at now, they have not yet completed the work for us. But he came out and then we proposed a date to him, and he also proposed a date to us that he's going to see to it that the work at the site is completed. Then question came that what sort of work are they going to do there? Then he said they are going to do the broken walls, the screening, canopies, and then most importantly the stands for the punters, and then for the judges, and then observers. And as I'm speaking now, they are promises and they have not done anything there at all. And for that matter, the horse owners, the jockeys, those who are involved in the horse racing are crying on us. This weekend we are running the first day of the Easter racing. We have entered about 3-4 new horses, and we had a message that other 4 horses are also on the way come. We are having 5 races on Saturday. Bushon, Marco Polo, and then Omo. The first division will be run by Mr. K, General Salute, Lean on Me, and Die Hard. And then another stiffer race, that is the 4A will be Who is Free, Fresh Boy, Sea Never Dry, Bonanza, Lagata, Thunderstorm, Jack, and then Simple Great. The novice that we are relying on and creating the attention there are still there. We have Mayweather, Chelsea, Belkis, Mercida.
When exactly does the race start?
1:30 p.m.
On Saturday?
On Saturday.
In the English Premiership, Chelsea maintained their lead with a 7-point advantage over Tottenham at the top of the Premier League table with a hard 4-2 victory over Manchester City at the Stamford Bridge. So we go to Spain, where a Lionel Messi brace and a Luis Suarez volley helped FC Barcelona secure a 3-0 victory over Sevilla in the La Liga title race. That's all for sports.
Hello, good evening. The art segment is brought to you by Cowbell. My name is Valerie Danso. A section of the public are calling on organizers of the Ghana Music Awards to include political songs on their menu, depending on the popularity of the song, but others argue that including songs that are laced with political lyrics on the nominations list will be a bad precedent and politicize the music industry.
Political songs enjoy their seasons when it's time for elections, but some political songs have managed to go beyond the political season and played in all social gatherings. For instance, in the 2008 elections, one political song that enjoyed massive airplay was the MPP's campaign song, Nana Winnie. Fast forward 2016, the NDC's campaign song Onapo was a trending political song in that year, and it is still. The development have led to calls that composers of such songs should be recognized just like their counterparts who focus on social issues, including love songs.
It's a song in total, so whether it's for political reasons or pleasure reasons, every song should be nominated for the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards.
Music is about entertainment and politics is not about entertainment, so I don't see the reason why it should be nominated for music awards. Definitely no.
There's politics in the house, there's politics in the church, there's politics everywhere, so yes, of course, it should be part.
It's the campaign song, and it is just meant for a particular party. It's not meant for any music awards or something.
Because it's not a sort of entertainment, you see. It's politics and entertainment, so it's a different aspect. So I don't think it's supposed to be nominated for like.
A type of art which is grabbing the attention of art lovers is fluid acrylic painting. The acrylic painting is not as popular as oil painting. Acrylic paintings are ideal for homes and hotel lobbies. We'll look at Mark Chadwick, a fluid acrylic painter. This segment was brought to you by Cowbell Milk.
Thanks for watching the weather update. Good evening. See you tomorrow.
And thank you now for the weather report. And thank you also for watching News Hour. This is where we part company.
We are back at 10 with News Tonight.